Welcome back. Today, I am going to introduce you to a concept in marketing that we call higher order benefit positioning. And before I tell you what those words mean, I want to first tell you what problem those words solve. And the problem that they solve is where you have a product that is identical to many other products in the market and many other brands in your segment. And so you are trying to figure out, how do I position this product, or how do I put this product in the market in such a way that it will stand out, or in such a way that it doesn't blend in and that you actually gain some sales or take some sales away from your competitors. The problem that we're solving is, how do I kind of step away from the noise to sell this product or this brand or this business, being that it is either a very common product or a very popular product that is just identical, that just once you put it in the bunch with the others, it just disappears in there. And you just trying to find a way to make it stand out. All right, so now let me explain what higher order benefit positioning is. And I will start by giving you an example, because I promise you this is something that you are familiar with. You've probably seen this. You probably have an example already in your head. So the example I'm going to give you is Cheerios. Honey Nut Cheerios, I think is like the full name of it. If you saw the commercials, I haven't been watching TV, so I don't know if they still do these commercials, but this is where they were positioning Cheerios as a heart healthy cereal, right? So when you think about cereal, most people think about breakfast, and most people think, okay, I need something I can have for breakfast that's not very heavy, but I also want it to be healthy because it's the first thing that I'm starting my day with. And so if you have been to the grocery store, you know that there is a million different options of cereal. And so I'm thinking, I don't know that this is how it went down, but I'm thinking the brand that makes Cheerios had the same problem. There are a million brands of cereal. How do I make mine stand out? And so the thought process is, while everyone is focusing on the immediate benefit of the cereal, how can we make this so that it is associated with a larger, more aspirational benefit, or a larger, more emotionally charged benefit, something that is going to appeal to either a lifestyle or an identity. And so they came up with this strategy, which really applies to all oats. But what they did is that they associated this specific oat cereal with lowering cholesterol. Again, all oats lower cholesterol, but they're looking for an association that is a higher benefit. So by lowering cholesterol, it supports heart health. And what do we know about heart health? It is linked to longevity, fitness. And so for a lot of people, this signals that if you consume this cereal, that means that you are protecting your health. That means that you want to be here longer for your family and for your loved ones. And when you watch those commercials, you will see that association and that kind of wanting to be a different brand, wanting to kind of move away from what everyone else is talking about, to now start elevating the status of this particular product and this particular brand. Another brand that did this very well is Tom's Shoes. They associated their brand with supporting the community, social impact, and global citizenship. So the person purchasing the shoe, yes, they are solving a footwear problem, but the larger mission is what is really connecting with them emotionally. It is because this company has picked a larger problem to associate their brand with, and the customer also associates themselves with this bigger problem that is being solved, with this emotional connection that is created through solving this bigger problem. And so let's talk about how we then take this strategy and apply it into our businesses, into the manufacturing of building materials. So when we talk about building materials, I think there is already an association that a building is more than just the building. It's more than just the concrete or the wood or whatever materials come together to create this building. So we already have that in mind. So how can we go even further than that? One example I can give from one of my past clients. This client manufactured components that went into creating tiny homes, components that went into putting a structure very quickly together that could then provide housing for people that needed it, either in times of emergency or people who are currently homeless or people that are just in a really dire economic situation and need very quick, very low cost housing. And so if we think about the specific component, it's not exactly that component that is selling the brand. It is the association with solving a bigger problem. And so this particular client went with solving the problem of homelessness. And so they associated their product with solving homelessness. And so they created their marketing and their messaging around this problem. How can we put more people into homes? How can we make sure that everyone has a place to stay? And then at the end of it, they sell the product. Now that is an example that can be used for a wide variety of building materials. But if you think about it, there is a problem that your product solves that is higher than what your customers think about when they come in to buy it. The obvious ones are sustainability and eco-friendliness. Those are the big ones that everyone talks about. Which other ones can you think of that will fall under the same umbrella? Think about issues like fire safety. Do you have materials that you manufacture that could be used in zones where fire hazards are a huge deal? Think about security. Are there materials that you manufacture that help keep certain members of the community safe? If we're talking about kids, if we're talking about maybe handicapped people, maybe we're talking about even pets. Is there a security feature that you can associate with a bigger goal of eliminating a certain problem? Another thing that you could think about is natural disasters. Is there a product that you manufacture that could be helpful? Maybe is useful during a storm, tornadoes, any kind of problem that it solves that is connected with a natural disaster that is then a benefit to the building or to the people that are using that building, then you can associate those. Now be very careful when you make these associations because then you don't want to sound inauthentic. It has to be a real connection. If we go back to Cheerios and oats, that is a real connection. That's not made up and it's not just a marketing angle. There is a real connection there. Make sure that whatever you're associating with is actually going to make a measurable impact. And so there you have it. That is higher order benefit positioning. Another way for you to help your brand and your product stand out from the competition.